Brilliance Audio presents The Finance Curse, How Global Finance is Making Us All Poorer, by Nicholas Shaxson, performed by Simon Mattacks. Introduction. In the early 1990s, I was the correspondent for Reuters and the Financial Times in mineral-rich Angola in West Africa, which was then supplying more than 5% of all US oil imports, and which the United Nations reckoned was suffering the world's worst civil war. Angola was, on paper, one of Africa's wealthiest countries, but on standard measures of human development it was almost the poorest. As UNITA rebels rampaged across the countryside, digging up diamonds to pay for their war machine, I flew into besieged cities in the interior in corkscrew dives to avoid anti-aircraft fire, to try to make sense of what was going on. In the government-held capital of Luanda, I remember the sight of upside-down legs kicking and wriggling from the tops of stinking hot garbage dumpsters, as scab-encrusted war orphans in diesel-soaked clothes dived for food and other treasures discarded by the beneficiaries of the oil wealth. These kids, some of whom slept at night in sewers to hide from robbers and the police, would surround me on street corners, tickling my elbows, wheedling for cash, crooning, "Amigo, amigo," to try to establish a friendship with the white man. Often, though, they used two different words, chefe or patron, the Portuguese words for boss or patron. This would, they reasoned, oblige me to fulfill my assigned role and look after them as my loyal underlings. Most days I'd donate something to Kwanzaa and the boys, 6 or 7 cheerful rascals who lived on my hotel street corner, and they defended me fiercely against all comers. Sometimes I felt as if they would have fought to the death to protect me. These kinds of relationships were woven into the country's economic and political tapestry, especially in the hierarchy of political power, where the rich and influential handed out goodies to their underlings in exchange for their support. At the time, oil and diamonds made up more than 99% of Angola's exports, and it was quickly obvious to me that economic theories about supply and demand and interest rates that were being taught in Western schools made no sense here. To begin to understand an economy so extremely dependent on minerals, it helps to picture it as a swollen river, which fans out into a widening delta system of ever more numerous rivulets. Flotillas of boats loaded with treasure, meaning the oil wealth in Angola's case, glide downstream, and gatekeepers extract tolls from the passing boats. The big diversions occur.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?